Welcome to the Redemption Podcast with your hosts, Stacy
and Julia. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Redemption. I'm your host, Julia, and today's guest is the General Manager of the Denali Princess Lodge and Chair of Holland America Princess's Sustain Alaska and the Yukon. Bonnie Westlund, welcome to Redemption.
Thank you, Julia. It's great to be here.
Yeah, via Zoom.
Yes, we finally are connecting.
Yeah, we've been trying to schedule this podcast recording for the past several months, I feel like. And then we were supposed to record in the studio last week, and then
it snowed 4 feet.
Yeah, we had this record, 3 storms, not just one storm.
Yeah, and you commute. You go back and forth between Anchorage and the Denali Lodge.
Well, in the summertime. So the summertime, I live in Denali National Park for about 6 months. Right. And then I live in Anchorage in the wintertime. So right now I'm not really commuting between Denali and here. And I actually have an update for you, Julia, since we planned doing this podcast in these months that we've been trying to get together. I've recently accepted a new role with Holland America Group. I'm now the Director of Community Relations. And we have a new manager over at the Denali Princess Lodge. But so my role of overseeing sustainability for Holland America Princess, and then also our community relations pieces, it's gotten bigger. And I feel so excited and honored to have this role with our company. I'm over the moon excited. So I wanted to, start off with that, because when we wrote this,
it was months ago.
It was months ago.
You know what?
Well, congratulations. That's amazing. And I feel like a lot, is part of your current position kind of just customized for your vision?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel so. I
You're that
feel
girl.
So. There's a need, and I've got the desire, and I'm thoroughly honored to have been given this opportunity, and I want to kick butt.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're the man for the job. So
the woman for the job.
You get me. Before we get any further, Isaac, do we have any housekeeping?
Sure. Well, obviously Stacy isn't here because we had to try to jam this in right before Christmas, because Stacy's going to be gone on vacation. I'm going to be gone on vacation in January, but there's still going to be content dropping, which is why we decided to just go ahead and do this episode via Zoom. Diag Nonsense just had the Christmas episode out. They'll have another episode in a couple weeks. We've got a lot of My House podcast stuff that is coming out that's all related to the federal building. Our architectural team was here actually this week while we're recording this, and they just met with a bunch of local community business leaders, people that are interested in office space. They met with our clients and our youth action board just to kind of nail down what everyone wants out of that space. And so there's just a ton of content out there about that project. I'm super excited for us to be able to talk about it after almost a year of kind of the planning phase and getting this. Well, this is really the planning phase, but the planning phase for the planning phase.
The pre-planning phase, yes.
So there's lots of stuff to check out. Don't worry, we will still have stuff releasing while everyone is on vacation, and then we'll be back and hit the ground running. The one podcast that's going to be taking a little bit of a break is My Voice, because our clients that were coming on for that, as you will hear in that episode, have some scheduling stuff that doesn't, when they're gone, and when they're back, that's when they're able to do it. Mm-hmm. So we will not have a My Voice episode for a little bit, but when we come back, we'll do the same thing as last time. Probably just have both episodes drop a week apart so that there's not as much of a wait there in reward for everyone giving us a couple of weeks to get those out. So yeah, I think that's about all I have. I will do my best to fill Stacy's energy role here from the editing table as best I can. Go team. Woo.
Woo. Woo. Thank you, Isaac. So if you were following any of that, Bonnie, we have an entire podcast network. So we have multiple podcasts that we're recording here. And so they're all available through our podcast network and as well on YouTube, et cetera. So Isaac's going on vacation. Everybody's going on vacation. You canceled or postponed a vacation. Am I right?
Yes.
And that's why you're even able to record
changed
today? Okay.
Yeah, plans got changed. You know, everything's fluid these days, right? So
literally everything is just every day, you know, you just do the best you can, and then you just kind of have to flow with it. That's what I'm telling myself right now, especially end of year deadlines. Like, yeah, it's crazy. So, but I am just so honored and excited to have you on the show today. I'm so grateful that you came into my life. You came into my world at the beginning of this year when I started this position at my house, starting the Redemption clothing line, because I was so nervous to cold call different hotels and ask them for their back end of house, whoever's in charge of the hotel sheets and linens and towels, and ask them if they'd be interested in donating sheets to us. And when I had called the Westmark, I got a hold of the manager, and, you know, he was just kind of trying to feel me out. And then I got an email from you saying that you were excited about it or something. And I was just about to leave my office. It was like 5 o'clock or something. And I was just about to leave, and you sent me an email, and I just called you, and it was like twin flames. We were both so excited together about the idea of Holland America Princess, you know, donating their retired sheets and linens to the clothing line to be upcycled into loungewear.
This opportunity fell from the sky for us. And so I wanted to just say a huge thank you, because we're looking for what to do with this stuff. It still has life. We have found some other channels to give some of that to, like, you know, animal shelters and things like that. But when I got your call, or we connected, this is perfect. I mean, not only is it getting reused, but it's going to such a great project and program. And we're super proud to be a part of this. I can't tell you how much I brag about it.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so awesome.
You gave me some of the photos from your photo shoot, which are just so professional and super cool. So yeah, we're really honored and proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I mean, your energy and enthusiasm is so encouraging. Like, you just have that personality. I don't know what it is about you, but you're bubbly, you're kind, you're encouraging, and you care so much about this, you know, the sustainability or Sustain Alaska and Yukon, you know, portion of your role with Holland America Princess. And so I can't wait to talk about your career and everything, but we have to start from the beginning. So were you always just this bright, bubbly, you know?
I don't know. I mean, you know, from when you live in your own little shell, I think I've always been pretty positive and go lucky. I definitely always see the glass half full. I'm definitely a positive person. There's always a way to figure something out. Okay. But I've been in Alaska for over 20 years. I started with Holland America Princess as a front desk clerk at the Denali Princess Lodge in 2001. I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah. I was recruited at a job fair, a summer job fair at Utah State University. And I fell in love with the state, the scenery, the tourism industry, super fun. Yes. And then the company, you know, it's a great company to work for. They've got just a great training program and opportunity. And then at the end of the contract that first year, I took 4 cruises. I cruised around South America, backpacked Machu Picchu, had to call my mom before Christmas and ask for money for a plane ticket to get home for the holidays. And then, you know, and then that winter, I was a volunteer for the Salt Lake City Olympics, 2002. That ended. I was a ski bum. My mom was like, "You need a job." And I thought, well, I liked Alaska. I think I'll go back. And I haven't left, you know? So, you know, I tell everybody when we're doing orientations and welcoming employees for a new season, I tell them, you never know what this is going to lead to. I thought I was coming up here for one summer and I'd go home and get my quote unquote real job and start life. And life actually started when I took that job. Whole new doors open for me, opportunities, friends, travel. It's been an incredible career.
And how old were you when you got that front desk job?
Let's see. So 2001, I think I was 22, 23.
Okay.
So yeah, early 20s. And, we provide housing. So, that was really easy to come up and, work. And we offer a wide variety of positions. So, I was at the front desk. And then the next year I went into admin and accounting and HR, kind of did the back of the house operations. I did that for a couple of years at the Copper River Princess. And then I moved into the front of house operations, front desk, gift shop, housekeeping, tour desk, that kind of area. Did that for a couple more years. And then moved into the role of general manager at the Copper River Princess Lodge, which is out by the Wrangell St. Elias National Park.
Mm-hmm. Never been there.
Oh, put it on your list. It's so beautiful.
I've lived here my whole life.
I know.
I'm from Dillingham, and I've never been to Juneau.
What?
Yeah. So I feel like I'm not the only Alaskan who hasn't been everywhere in Alaska yet.
You're not.
But
you're not.
Yeah, it's highly encouraging. I'm like, okay, I gotta come visit.
And it's totally a natural thing. Nobody vacations in their backyard, right? We want to go see something different. So
yeah.
I have a question as far as being doing accounting and HR. Is it just like being an accountant in town, except you get to look at a national park out your window, or is there any special challenges that come associated with that, or is it just accounting with a better window view?
Well, I've never done accounting anywhere else, Isaac, so I'm not sure. But here you got a great view, of course. And then it's hotel accounting. So, dealing with, restaurants, gift shops, payroll for the team. There's all those types of departments, tour desk reconciliation. So working with vendors in the area. So I think it's fun accounting.
That is cool.
There's a wide variety of departments and activities that you're working with. It's not just one lane. You've got a lot of different lanes.
And I think it's important to highlight, just because when I was living out of state, or you tell someone on vacation you're from Alaska and you start talking, everyone always assumes like, oh, Alaska, so you guys do a bunch of oil. And I'm like, well, we do a bunch of oil, but what pays the bills is tourism. And you and Holland America are such a big part of that. You're part of the biggest industry that Alaska has. And man, I have to imagine that over the last couple years, especially, that there were some serious challenges associated with kind of keeping the lights on and keeping everything running.
Absolutely, Isaac. And actually, we had to turn the lights off for a little bit because there was no guests. The 2020 season was completely canceled. The majority of our guests that stay in our hotels and ride in our motor coaches and our rail cars come off of cruise ships or are going to a cruise ship, a Princess cruise ship, a Holland America line cruise ship. And in 2020, that whole season was, for the most part, canceled. There was a couple ships that did run, but they didn't bring guests to the interior. So all of our operations were closed. And, and our company did the best they could to, keep us employed. We did see some furloughs, but man, they really did a good job protecting their team and the management core group so that we could come back in 21. 21, we did open a little bit of our operations. A couple of the hotels opened. And so we were able to give some employment opportunities there. And then 22 was our big rollout. We reopened all the hotels. And it was a rough year. I have to say 2022 was the hardest year of my entire career with Holland America Princess. And I think anybody that you talk to in the tourism industry statewide will have that same sentiment. It was so great. It was so wonderful to have the lights back on, the guests back in the hotel rooms and the restaurants and the motor coaches and back in the gift shops. But it was also just trial after trial. We had a record snow winter. Remember that last year? And so spring startup, we started off with all this ice and snow and broken equipment and mechanical issues. And then we had staffing issues that we had never experienced before. It was so hard to find employees to fill our jobs. The guests were coming, demand was strong, and we needed team members. And so we were turning over every rock to find employees and folks that wanted to work in Alaska or come up to Alaska. And then we were dealing with supply chain issues. The whole world shut down, right? And it was hard to get supplies back and forth. Shipping was a problem. And so we'd had all this broken stuff and we had no way to get it replaced. It was a wild year. And then COVID. Oh gosh, how could I forget? We dealt with COVID last summer too. That hadn't gone away. So we had, guests that were falling ill, employees that were falling ill, and we had very serious protocols that we had to follow to ensure that we stopped the spread of the illness and isolated, and then that put more strain on the team when we had team members fall ill. So,
and you're already short-staffed.
It was a wild ride. So, and what we focused on, what I told my team last year was just do the best you can. You mentioned it earlier, Julia. If I just do the best I can today, literally, that's all we have. That's all we have. So just do the best you can. We're going to go to bed and it's still going to be utter chaos, but did you do your best today? Yes. Okay. Well, then that's all we can ask. And then we also focused on our employees, just focused on the team last year, because we felt super confident if we supported our team, created a good environment for them to work and grow and feel supported and do their jobs, they're going to have a great experience. They're going to stick around. They're going to tell their friends and family, and we're going to have a really good, solid employee foundation for 2023. And so we did that last year. We focused on our team, made sure we created a good employee experience, and the fruits of our labors are being shown. We've already got a great return rate of employees putting applications in for this year, which is so exciting because we love to see our team members come back, and they're spreading the word about these great experiences that they can have up in Alaska.
You just nailed it, because your employees, focusing on your employees and their safety and their well-being is the most important thing that you can do to create that foundation and that structure for a really happy environment that your guests feel. And
totally.
And it's just I just love that, and that's part of your leadership. That's you and your leadership team together focusing on that. It's just extremely impressive to me. It really speaks volumes about Holland America Princess. It makes me want to go stay at the hotels and support you guys.
We always say, we focus, our most important guest and customer all summer is the employee. Because if our employees are not happy and not feeling appreciated and supported, there's no way we're going to pull off excellent guest service. There's no way. So if we focus on the employee experience, everything falls into place. And if you hire good managers that believe in that and want to develop that culture, once again, just everything's going to fall into place.
It's just a happy place to work, and you look forward to getting up and figuring it out together.
Well, most days.
Okay.
No. But yes, there's going to be those days, but since you've got a good team, you're dependent on each other, that it all comes together.
Yeah, and I was going to plug this at the end, but we'll plug it now, for all of those who are listening and not sure, maybe you're not working right now, or you're just not sure what to do with your life, or not sure what you want to be when you grow up. I certainly, didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up until, I don't know, maybe last year.
I still don't know if I want to know what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, or if you're just looking to try something new, Holland America Princess is hiring.
Yes.
What are some of the perks?
Oh my gosh, we're actively hiring right now. Well, so our employees earn free cruises. We've also, and we have divisions from Ketchikan all the way up to Fairbanks. And so if you're working in an area that is not where your home is, we have housing in most of these locations with employee dining programs. Our employee housing even offers, we give you all the linens. We have laundry facilities, Wi-Fi, recreation areas, activities and things for you to get involved in on your time off. Other perks, we offer bonuses for a myriad of different things. We have a longevity bonus. So if you complete your contract, or not if, when you complete your contract, you receive a bonus for completion of the contract. We also offer a reward for referral bonus. And so what that is if you tell your friends and family and they get a job, you get a job, and you both complete your contracts, you get some money for that as well. So it encourages good employees to spread the word and recruit their friends and family. So there's a lot of really great opportunities. We have entry-level positions. We've got jobs that require some skill, like our maintenance assistants, and we have culinary positions, entry-level culinary, as well as high experience culinary positions, sous chefs and chefs, lead line cooks. We've also got all sorts of front of house positions for restaurants, gift shops, tour desk, front desk, housekeeping department. And then we talked a little bit earlier about accounting. We even hire back of house jobs that people sometimes don't think about in the tourism industry, but you need your payroll teams, your accounting teams, all those folks running the offices in the background.
So you started as a front desk person. You worked your way up. You were ambitious. And
I was back then. What happened?
You're still ambitious. Look at you, Miss Community or Director of Community Relations. So tell me about the how you started the Sustain Alaska and the Yukon
sustainability program. So I think it was 2017 or 2018. Have you heard about the Zero Landfill Initiative in Denali National Park?
No.
I'm not sure if I told you about that. So this is an incredible, huge, awesome opportunity for Denali National Park. They were chosen as one of the 3 pilot parks of a really cool program spearheaded by Subaru. So Subaru for years has been making cars in zero waste factories. Think about that for a minute.
What?
They make a whole car without sending anything to the landfill. There's no waste. So they've engineered waste out of the production process, and they wanted to partner with somebody and share all this knowledge. And what greater partner than the National Park Service, to preserve our national parklands, give them the toolbox to take these learnings and spread it to not only the parks, but the gateway communities outside of these national parks. And the 3 parks that were chosen for this pilot program were Denali, Yosemite National Park, and then Grand Tetons. And so this little thing started brewing up in Denali National Park, and I was the GM of the Denali Princess Lodge, and I started hearing some stuff in the community about reducing waste and recycling. Well, at that point, there was no recycling up in Denali. We're hundreds of miles away we're 120 from Fairbanks, 200 from Palmer, which is really the biggest recycle center closest to us, the Valley Community for Recycling Solutions. And so the Subaru wanted to help our community and help the park. And so I started getting involved in some of these conversations. They created a group of business leaders, community leaders, and I was asked to join this as the GM of the biggest lodge in the area. And I've always been passionate about this stuff: sustainability, preserving our environment, recycling. And I gobbled it up. I was just, this is awesome information. They had these really great summits bringing all these different vendors and leaders together to talk about recycling, problem solving, sharing best practices. Composting was a topic, all these just great outreach programs. And so I would bring that back to our company. And we started like a little sustainability work group. We just called it the Sustainability Committee. And we were talking about reducing single-use plastics, recycling, and that kind of started to morph into something bigger, where had the idea we need to have a brand, a sustainability brand that our company can hang its hat on, an umbrella where the messaging lives under. It's got a kitschy name. Maybe
it's got a logo.
Got a logo, color scheme, all that cool, sexy stuff, right? And so proposed to our leadership team this idea, and they loved it. So then we had a contest with employees to name our sustainability program, and somebody came up with SAY, which was an acronym for Sustain Alaska and the Yukon, because we have operations not only in Alaska, but in Yukon territories in Canada too. And so we love it. Our little tagline is say something and do something, because we want to be active oriented, but we also want to talk about it. Right. Because if you don't talk about what you're doing, then everyone assumes you do nothing, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of it. So I think that the program started officially in 18, or was it 19? I've kind of lose track of time with the pandemic in there.
Wow.
It may have been 19. And then we were all going gangbusters. We had some really great hurdles that we overcame in 19. Some examples were we recycled over 130,000 pounds of cardboard in the Denali area alone.
That's insane.
We started all sorts of different types of conservation efforts with, reusing things, reducing our single-use plastics, looking at different types of ways to deal with our food waste. And so we had all these plans and initiatives for 2020, going into 2020. And then, of course, we all know what happened. But we were able to keep the program alive and going through the pandemic. Even with our closed operations, we kept doing what we could do. And then in 2022, when we reopened, we of course had our goals and initiatives and education and community pieces. So I'm just, so now in my new role, I'll have more time to focus on this. Before it was just kind of like my side passion gig, right? I had to be a general manager and fill say in sustainability stuff in when I could. And now I get to focus fully on that.
That's
super
so
excited.
awesome.
I know we're gonna
You worked so hard for that too. So
we all did. It's definitely a community effort and culture. It's changing culture too, mindset with leadership to employees, our community. Because I think even in some of these rural areas that we operate in, recycling's hard, logistics are tough. Just as an example, and so you have to make that culture shift where you're going to commit to figuring it out and then commit to doing it, even if it is hard. Sometimes hard is okay.
Or inconvenient.
Yeah.
It is a complete mind shift, and you have to practice it every day. So this year you're kind of getting back up on your feet again. What are you most excited for 2023?
Well, my new role.
Yes.
And focusing on that. So we're going to be doing some new programs with tracking our landfill diversion metrics. So actually coming up with some solid data, how much that we're not sending to the landfill. And this could be recycled materials or things that we're sending my house, that stuff we're not sending to the landfill, to how much food waste are we putting into our food digesters. And this is a technology, a machine that actually takes food waste and uses microbes to break it down into liquid form. And then it goes down the drain and is treated, whether it be city sewer or local wastewater treatment facility. Amazing technology. And so, that's just one sample of something that we're investing in and looking at to reduce what we're sending to the landfill.
That's just such a inspirational, the amount of waste that you're reducing in Denali is incredible. And that makes such a difference, especially when you're either a lifelong Alaskan or you're a transplant and you just care so much about the state that you live in. It just means so much to preserve, our beautiful state, especially when you get to see it all the time versus, maybe not see it all the time. But that's just incredible. So you're doing that in 2023, and then you're also on the committee for the Trend Alaska fashion show.
Yes. Another really awesome reason why we connected. I'm so excited that we connected for the sheets and towel stuff, but I'm also selfishly excited that we connected on this too. So Trend Alaska Fashion Show is a nonprofit. It's a group of women all in tourism. And Carol Frazier, she's the brainchild of it. Dear friend of mine. She runs the Aspen Hotel chain. And she has always wanted to have an awesome fashion show highlighting Alaska-only designers and support an Alaska cause. And so this is our third year that we're going into. This last year, we partnered with VOA Alaska, Volunteers of America of Alaska, that supports Alaska youth.
Also a My House partner. They're working on the Recovery High School being implemented into the new appropriation building. They were here today, actually. And they were on an episode of the My House podcast, episode 18, with Julia Louie from VOA and Michelle.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I know that. Oh, that's wonderful. And we were so excited. Our goal for the show this last year was to raise $100,000 for them. And we raised over 120 grand with the event that we did in February.
It was so fun.
And Julia was able to be there.
Yes. So it has been my dream since I was a little girl to have a collection in a fashion show. I grew up doing runway and stuff like that, and I've always loved fashion, so it was just a dream. And I had been to, I've had a design in the Wearable Art Show before in Palmer, and so last year, starting my new position, I went to the trend show, and I was just like, oh my gosh, we're going to be in this next year, and we are.
And you are.
Yeah, and I'm just so thankful that the trend fashion show is new. This is only your third year, but it is making a splash all over Alaska. Like the big name designers, Sarah Dexter, she's amazing. Shout out to her. Bobby Ida, Opal Hart, something.
Yes.
You're creating an opportunity for all of these designers to come together and really launch the Alaska fashion industry into something that, that we really need. So
and we have so much talent up here.
We do.
There's so many different designs, and we have so many different mediums to pull from. And I think I love the show, seeing what the designers come up with. We have wearable art designers there that are just incredible, so talented. And the other thing I really like is that all of our models are Alaskan too. The whole show is all Alaska. And,
yes.
Really great fun evening. Last year we had the show at the Audi Porsche dealership, and we did the runway in the shop where they work on the vehicles. So it was, oily and smelly and kind of grungy. Just
I loved it.
I thought for a fashion show.
Yeah, it was a great venue.
Awesome. And this year we have partnered with Let Every Woman Know, who is a nonprofit supporting and educating women with gynecological cancers. They're an awesome group lifting women and their families and survivors. And we have partnered with Everett's Air Hangar for the event. So it's the theme of the event is lifting Alaskans. So lifting women, lifting their families, and helping support them and make them get through these trials and these cancers that touch many of us. So the theme will be focused on aeronautical things. Kind of losing my brain here.
Yeah. No.
But it's going to be on January 28th, and tickets are available. We're currently also getting the word out and looking for sponsors. So if anyone's listening and wants to get involved, I've got information I'd be happy to share with any of the listeners.
So we'll plug the Trend Alaska website, and
Cool.
And do you want us to also plug your contact info, like your business email address?
Absolutely,
Okay.
You totally can.
Awesome.
Totally share that. I can share other packets of information, and you can buy tickets on the Trend Alaska website. The tickets are live right now.
Okay.
So, and I recommend, if you're interested in coming, get your tickets now.
Yeah.
Because they do sell out. This will be our third show. The other two did sell out. So.
Yeah, they did. Oh, so you have 2 shows under your belt. What have you learned from those past 2 shows? Like the biggest, trial and error things that you're taking in and into this next show. And you're also in a new venue. So it's like new venue, new sound situation.
Yeah.
Everything.
We do. And every year the goal is to do a different location, different nonprofits. And so, there's those trials and errors. The first year we did it at the railroad depot at the airport. most people never even see that place. And that was a super great venue. Had tons of windows though, that we had to cover with black cloth because we wanted it to be dark for the runway. And so last year we wanted, okay, we're going to go with a dark room. So we ended up in that shop at the dealership. And then this year we're in an air hangar, so it'll still be dark. But so I guess that would be something we learned, just to make sure, thinking of lighting and sound when we're picking a venue. I'm trying to think of other things that I guess, thinking sky's the limit too. I think sometimes we go into our theme and we think it's going to be a certain way. And then we start talking to different designers and creatives that come and just blow our minds. Like this whole idea of lifting Alaskans, that just came out just a couple weeks ago. It's that wasn't the original idea, but that has just all come to place and has married up really well with the nonprofit of Let Every Woman Know. And kind of the two themes are matching up really well.
I love that theme. It feels light. It feels like what I need right now. I think we could all use a little,
So just coming.
I'm ready for it.
Too.
Well, and it's just such a honor for the Redemption clothing line to be able to, this is essentially our brand debut for the clothing line, and we'll be selling whatever inventory that we're able to scrap together after the show. This is definitely a big learning experience for me, as well as the project manager for the clothing line, as well as designing a collection for the clothing line that really embodies the mission of the clothing line, which is to raise awareness about human and sex trafficking in Alaska. So working on the collection and having so much life stuff come up, in between working on it, has been extremely difficult and challenging, I will say, leading up to the deadline of getting all of the designs done, which today we're recording, and it is December 20th. So I have 10 days to get everything finished, and I feel behind. Not gonna lie, but the end is in reach, and I know that I'm gonna pull it off, and I'm just so excited for it. So thank you again for just the opportunity, and just for coming on the show and for everything. I feel like this is just the start of. It's just the beginning.
That's what I think too. I think this is just the beginning of a great relationship and partnership. I cannot wait to see your designs. They look amazing on paper. I cannot wait to see them and touch them and see them walk the way.
So just like with how, you guys originally had this idea in your mind of how it's going to look, right? In the new venue, the new theme and everything. Due to just life happening, I was out of commission for a good couple of weeks. I had a pretty major life event happen to where I was I just didn't even know if I was going to even be able to continue with the show. But we're carrying on and making some changes to the designs, actually, that in the long run are better for what the mission is. It shows the brand better for the clothing line. And it's changing, but it's in a good way. So in a way that, you just never thought that it would before until all of these things happened. And you just have to embrace it and embrace the change. And you just okay, what's the next right thing to do? All I have is today, and you just have to go with it and embrace it. So I'm right there with you.
I'm so excited that you're part of the show. Every designer's got a story, but the story that you guys are bringing to trend is just really, really awesome.
Thank you, Bonnie Westlund, for being on the show, for telling us about, your life, your career, everything that you're doing. I'm really excited for 2023 for Holland America Princess. I swear I'm going to get up there and go stay at the hotel or something. Maybe after the show, I'll go and book a hotel room or something.
We're getting you up north this summer. Yes.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You pick some dates and you let me know, and let's get you up there.
I will. I will. I'll follow up with you. So my final question for you, Bonnie, is a question that we ask all of our guests here on the show, and that is, what does the word redemption mean to you?
So when I hear the word redemption, I think of repairing and renewing. Something is not, it's not trash, it's not garbage, it's everything can be redeemed. Everything can be redeemed and repaired and renewed. I think it's the true message of sustainability, finding value and ensuring that it feels its value too, whether it be a material thing or a person.
Yeah, truly. It's people, it's material things, it's everything. And I love that because it's a lot of words. Repair, yeah.
Oh yeah, reuse.
Mm-hmm.
Ties right into the recycling that you guys are doing too.
Recycle. Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. Redemption.
All is not lost. It still has value. Yes.
Well, thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
If you or someone you know are a victim of sex trafficking, please call 1-866-733-7878 or text HELP to 233-733. For local services here at my house, you can call 373-HELP. That's 373-HELP. Remember, if you see something, say something. This is Redemption, Loved and Thriving. Until next time.